As we greet the day on this beautiful summer morning here in the Canadian wilderness, we're reminded of the beauty and tranquility of small farm life. There's nothing quite like the feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment and reward that you get from homesteading, growing some of your own food, raising some of your own animals,
Fuzzy!
and keeping some animals as pets and friends on the farm. It's been 3 years now since my wife and I bought this 90-acre tranquil, old, rustic hobby farm in the foothills of Horseshoe Valley, Ontario, Canada, and we're still in the process of transforming this entire property into a farm stay and experience vacation rental. It's been going on longer than a decade now that my wife and I have been dreaming for this kind of small farm life. And it's finally come to fruition. It's a lot of work. It's excruciating hours and labor, and it's also very expensive, especially not having any experience in my life about this type of work, the type of equipment that's involved. You know, we've had to start building our complement of farm style tools and equipment, some big, some small. Homesteading in Canada is not that much different than homesteading elsewhere in the world. You have to prepare gardens, grow a lot of your own food, start from seed. Also, you're raising a lot of animals for meat, and it becomes very important to a homesteader where their food comes from, what kind of a life the animal is living, and respecting that animal when that day comes to do the harvest. Continuously improve the investments on your property. These are some meat chickens this year. There's 30 birds, and this is going to allow us not to purchase any chicken throughout the whole year. This is going to feed us. It's going to also feed some of our cats and dogs because we always treat them to a bunch of fresh meals. We also raise some ducks, and this year we're trying to raise a few geese for meat, and this is also going to supply us and the cats and dogs with some food and hopefully a Christmas goose.
Whether you're in Canada or anywhere else in the world and you're homesteading, be prepared to be busy all the time. Lots of work, lots of jobs, lots of maintenance, and you gotta really want this lifestyle. But we're actually loving it, and we enjoy all the animals that we've chosen here at the farm, and it's been a blast. Billy! I can't open the door, Billy. Billy, you want this? You want this, Billy? Bubbles. You're playing? You're playing? Bubbles. Bubby, is that you making all that noise? Hello, rabbit. Here you go, guys. Here you go, guys. Here's a present from Mama. Okay? What's wrong, Rabbit? You don't want the greens? I know you like the greens. Hey, buddy. How are you? You okay? Oh yeah, you're loving the rubs now, eh? Let's go, ducks! Come on, ducks!
It's a pretty fair system that the ducks and the geese do for us because they also play a very important role. The ducks are maintaining the insect population. The geese are keeping the grass cut down low, so it saves me labor to mow the lawn. And also both birds are fertilizing the entire area. So that means the grass and the pasture area is getting fertilized in addition to the fruit trees. The farmhouse is 107 years old. It's got a lot of rustic character, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it's a really great place to reconnect with family for reunions or holidays. And we've had a really good experience with all of our guests so far.
Mango, I see ya. Mango? I see ya, Mango. He's scared of me.
I was recently doing some work on the Chateau du Poulet, which is our octagonal 7-coop chicken house here. It's custom made. I built it myself. And we recently built a fenced chicken yard so that we can actually free range the birds during the summer months. And the chickens seem to be loving it. You know, they're scratching around for bugs. They're going to get a lot of their protein now from the outdoors. And it's going to allow us to save money on buying the feed.
What are all you guys doing in Michael Jackson's coop? Get out of here. I know, you're such a stinker. Why you're giving Big Red trouble? Yeah, I'm talking to you. That's no good. Michael Jackson, you're supposed to be a smooth criminal.
Let's go, hens. Now this, be good. A couple of hens recently hatched out, a duckling and a couple of chicks. So we're keeping an eye on them as they grow. But we newly added a new flock this year of barred rock. These are the black and white Plymouth barred rock. And we're raising these with a bunch of goslings that we recently hatched out. And these goslings are in training to be guard geese. We raise rabbits on the farm. I built them a bunny barn and a rabbitat so that they can be free roam. I don't particularly care to keep rabbits in cages. We don't eat the rabbits. They're not here for meat. We keep the rabbits mainly for a source of great manure. Rabbit manure is cold and can be put into the garden beds immediately to fertilize our veggies. They're pretty cute, and the farm stay guests really get a kick out of the rabbits too, so it's a win-win for all. We have 2 old English sheepdogs here on the farm. Our OG sheepdog named Molly. She's an amazing girl. She's rock solid. She's about 90 pounds, which is really strong and muscular for a female Old English sheepdog. And she's very beautiful. She comes from right here in southern Ontario, so she's a good old Canadian girl. And she was an early addition to our homestead here, and she's been invaluable. Olive is about half the age of Molly, and we adopted Olive from a viewer who lives in Ohio of the United States. and she drove up and gave us this puppy. And this is just Olive's life story here on the farm. Molly trained her and groomed her to be a great baby sister, and she's an amazing addition on the farm. And both dogs are trained around all of the small animals, all the chickens, all the ducks, all the rabbits, all the cats, every animal here on the farm. The dogs are trained to be great around the animals. They have a lot of fun here on the farm. Olive especially loves chasing the ball. And she's probably the fastest sheepdog on the planet. But both dogs are very protective of their farm. They don't live outside 24/7, but they're still acting as protective guard dogs during the daytime. And whenever there's any stranger or strange animal or any other noise that they hear, they go crazy and bark like a big dog. The massive vegetable garden is a continual work in progress. We've done a lot of work here. We've had a lot of great successes, but we've also had a lot of failure. So it's a live and learn type of situation. We now have landscape fabric in a lot of the areas, and I've built raised beds. We've brought in fresh soil, and we do a lot of our plantings in these raised beds, and the garden is doing incredible this year. The tomatoes, we have two types. We have beefsteak tomatoes and Roma tomatoes. We have a whole slew of cabbages and broccolis. We did a garlic patch this year. That's getting ready to harvest very soon. We have 3 patches of potatoes. That's going to be incredible. We have bok choy, green beans, peas, snow peas, lots of different types of radish. We have white radish. We have a couple of squash growing up the trellis here. We have a bunch of cucumbers growing up the trellis. We have 2 beds of strawberries. We harvested a lot of strawberries this year, so that was good. We have some eggplant and a bunch of peppers. It's going to be a really great growing season for us, and we're really excited to see how much we can actually grow.
As you can see, there's still a ton of work to do in here. I don't mind doing work, it's just I'm only one, and I just need to pace myself to get certain projects done in a timely fashion. But this garden is amazing.
In our area of Ontario, Canada, we are zone 5B, so the growing season is not very long. We typically sow seeds or transplant into the beds around the 3rd week of May, and we can probably grow successfully until late September. Once the temperature starts cooling down and there's any kind of frost, most of the plantings die off. So we just have to capitalize on those few months and grow as much as we can. And it's really nice to know that there's no pesticides sprayed on these, there's no herbicide sprayed, so we know that these are fully organic veggies for us to eat.
No homestead can be a real homestead or farm without barn cats. And this is my man, Dexter Morgan, right here. He just came to give me a hug. And we have 8 cats here at the farm. I call them the Claw Crew, and they do a really great job of keeping the rodent and mice population down for us. If it wasn't for our Claw Crew, we would be overrun with mice, eating our crops, eating our fields, eating all the feed for the livestock, and it wouldn't have been good. Let me introduce you to our Claw Crew barn cat team. We got, of course, Dexter Morgan. We have Chunk. We have Fozzie Bear. He's kind of the king or the patriarch of the group because he's the eldest cat that we have. Then we have Maggie May, Mango, and Tango, and Chewy, and Bubbles. The barn cats spend their evenings protected in the cat house, which used to be my workshop, and a catio that I built for them. After I lost a couple cats, it just broke my heart, and I built them a catio right away so that I could start locking up the cats at night in their best interest to protect them against coyotes.
and it's working to be a great system. I shout their names and call them at the end of the day, and they typically come back. Sometimes it takes them a little while, but they come back, and they're living their best life on the farm too.
Mango! Tango! Mango! Come on, buddy! Mango! Come on! Come on, Mango! Come on! You can't let Maggie out! You can't let Maggie out! Now you're too slow. You let Maggie out. Come on. Maggie just wants to say hi to her buddy Olive. Where you going, you little stinker? Where you going? She thinks she can get away from me. From coast to coast to coast, we appreciate you following along on our journey of transforming this 90-acre hobby farm into an amazing farm stay and experience. And if you haven't checked out that video of me building this incredible chicken yard for the chickens to free range, I'll put the video up on the screen here and you can keep on watching for me and help us out with the YouTube algorithm.